Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from Perth, Western Australia, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you watching this. Obviously, decided to take a step into the office today as opposed to doing this while I'm driving. But what I wanted to talk to you about is interesting, really. Like, I was having to think about over the weekend some of the goals that I've set for myself over the past maybe last year, looking at the goals that I was setting for myself. And look, this is going to come off as a little bit of a silly one, but something that I spent a little bit of time trying to focus on was getting Uber Eats off my phone. Stop using Uber Eats to basically help me fuel my body. I think me and the missus spent close to probably $120 a week on eating out or eating in, so to speak. It's so easy to just pick up the phone, whack on the app, and order some junk food from wherever. And so at the start of 2019, I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to delete the apps off my phone, all the other different ones that are out there. And all went well for a couple of months, or maybe even a couple of weeks was doing well. And then, the convenience came back in. It's like, I can't be bothered eating, can't be bothered cooking. So back to Uber Eats it was. So, it could be viewed. You could look at this and say, look, oh man, I failed on my goal this year. I failed on one of my goals that I set for myself. And I had to think about it. Look, it's really, really small. A really, really small thing in the shape of things. It's not going to be detrimental to, my everything that's going to happen, but it is a setback. And like many setbacks, it can get on your mind and play on your mind, and it might feel like you failed. But at the end of the day, it's, although yes, it might be a setback, it's not really a failure. And if you look at things in terms of what that actually meant to you and what it actually means to you in the long run, is like, what can I do next? Okay, so I've slipped up. Does that mean that I give up and I just go back to the way I was, just eating crap and spending $120 a week on Uber Eats again? Or what does it actually mean? And this is where looking at some of the stuff I do, spending on with some of my clients as a personal development coach, we always drive to try and dig at least 7 layers deep into the things that you actually set for yourself in terms of goals, for example, in terms of anything, for example. So I looked at this and I was like, okay, well, obviously, what is this? Why did I set this goal in the first place? What was it there for? So I looked at it and I was like, well, obviously money was a thing. $120 a week is a lot of money to be wasting on crappy food. Then you look at the crappy food in general as well, $120 a week on crap food that's not really fueling your body right. It's getting you fat. It's also affecting other goals that are happening, like in terms of getting fit and staying healthy, lots of different things like this. So, there's about 5 things, but then at the end of the day, that's not really satisfying. It's like, oh yeah, well, I've got these other different reasons, everything that's impacting on me, but is it going to get me to change? What is it? Why did I set this goal in the first place? And then I dug one more layer deep, and I found that it was really just discipline. I was trying to be more disciplined within my life, trying to be more disciplined within my health, trying to be more disciplined within my finances, trying to be more disciplined within the way I eat, my routines, convenience, being accountable to myself, owning, slapping myself in the face and saying, you know what, don't be a lazy cunt, pardon the French, and actually get up and make some food and look after yourself a little bit better. So all these different things was about accountability and discipline for myself. So yeah, if I could fail at that little goal that I set myself for that year, but what I've actually realized for things moving forward is that, you know what, this year when I set my goals, Uber Eats is still there. I've not changed that. But what I have added is the fact that, okay, don't be so harsh on yourself. It's okay to have a little bit of fun. It's okay to let your hair down and eat a little bit of bad food every now and again. So me and the missus sat down and discovered, and we it might sound cheesy, but we locked in Uber Eats Friday. So we don't always have Uber Eats, but it's a chance where, you know what, we can be a little bit more relaxed with what we're eating. But it's set in my calendar. I'm being more disciplined with it. So the other 6 days of the week, we're being accountable, doing everything that we need to do. And for that one meal, yeah, it's okay to let your hair down. So why am I talking about this? It might sound so simple. Is the fact that we are 13 days into the year. No doubt some people have slipped up on the goals already, and probably there's some memes and stuff going on around Facebook about how 2020 can fuck off already, bring on 2021, because it's a common pattern that happens when we slip up on our goals. So don't just think if you have slipped up, or maybe if you slip up in the next couple of weeks or next month or so, don't sit back on it and think of it as a failure. Have a look at it and actually dig deep about why it was important to you in the first place. Is it discipline? Is it accountability? Is it purpose? Is it health? What is it? What is it for you? And when you figure that shit out, write it the fuck down and align that with everything else that you're doing in your life. Because at the end of the day, that's why you've set these goals. You've set these goals to be more accountable. You've set these goals to be more disciplined because it's important to you. Don't get worried about the surface layer stuff, about the actual goal itself. Be worried about why you set that goal for yourself in the first place. And then all it takes is a little bit of readjustment and you'll be fine. Trust me. I hope you're having an awesome day, guys. It's been awesome to speak to you on this Monday morning. For those watching on Instagram, like, share, subscribe to the channel. And I got some good news. Brought on a first sponsorship for my podcast that's going to be re-released just a couple of days. Got to recording a few more episodes as well over this week. Got 3 episodes booked in to record, and I will see over my shoulder there. Got a little tub of protein powder. Talk about an exciting new sponsorship that we got for the podcast as well, which is pretty damn awesome. So I hope you're having an awesome day, guys. Share around with your friends and family, and I'll speak to you soon. Love you all.